Namaskar. This is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. The deadly coronavirus continues to afflict and plague the world and the world economy. The worrisome part is that with each passing day, we are seeing new and new strains, new and new versions and mutations of the virus surfacing. And that's becoming a big challenge to healthcare authorities worldwide. The fact is that the virus never did go back. And the fact also is that every time we are seeing it come back with a renewed vigor, with a renewed intensity. It is said that some parts of the US are already witnessing a fourth wave of the coronavirus, and there is no guarantee that there will not be a fifth or a sixth wave of the virus coming there. France as a nation has already announced a third lockdown. Its first and the second lockdowns were not enough to contain the crisis, to contain the virus, and it is already in a third lockdown mode. And as we say, there's no guarantee that a fourth lockdown will not come there. Unfortunately, India has been no exception to this situation. We are seeing an increasing number of cases being reported in the country on a daily basis. And the crisis has come back, particularly in major production states like Maharashtra and Karnataka. Important economic cities like Mumbai and Bengaluru are already facing a resurge of the pandemic in a very intense manner. While in the case of Mumbai, the government has been choosing to adopt a wait and watch approach and has not imposed any kind of a lockdown, even though some curfew imposition has come back. But in many other cities of Maharashtra, including Pune, a lockdown has come back in a big way. This is going to continue till we have some kind of a control over the number of cases that have been coming up. The state of the economy has already been shaky. The 2020 COVID crisis that was caused had already hit the economy in a bad way. But now with yet another surge coming back, there is going to be a disruption and a bigger slowdown in the economy taking place. We are already seeing a fast ballooning health crisis coming back with this second wave of the crisis in India. A full lockdown has not yet come back. The government has not announced it as yet. But what we are seeing is that some kind of a breakdown, some kind of a disruption has already set in key economic process in the country in terms of consumption, in terms of production, in terms of labor supply, and also in terms of logistics in the country. A breakdown has already come in, disruption has already come in. And this is best reflected in the fact that in the month of February, 8 major industries which constitute the core infrastructure sector of the country witnessed a contraction by 4.6%. To us, that shows a breakdown in the manufacturing, production and economic process of the country. The Indian economy to us is already in a breakdown mode. And with that, the recovery and revival of the economy is certainly going to be difficult. It is going to be delayed. And it is going to aggravate the economic crisis that we face even further. To us, a breakdown in the country's economic process, a disruption in the economic process of India has already set in. And it is worth considering and looking into where all it is going to impact, what is going to be the effect of this breakdown on our lives, on our livelihood, on our incomes. The first is going to be to do with jobs. We have already seen that in 2020, because of the COVID surge, the COVID crisis, millions of jobs were lost. And sadly, some of them never did come back. They were lost forever. If we have an intense wave of the corona crisis coming back, we are again going to see job losses taking place. And some of them again will be lost forever. The fact of the matter is that corporates reinvented themselves in response to the COVID crisis last year, and they have tasted blood. They have tasted the blood of cost cutting on account of reduced manpower, and there is no reason why they will resort to their old ways of manpower beyond what they need. So, job loss is going to be the first impact in case we have an intense resurge of corona coming back. The second, of course, is with increasing job losses, with increasing unemployment or underemployment, there is going to be a dip in household income. A dip in household income would mean that consumer spending will come down. In fact, in such a situation, consumer spending will take longer to revive and longer to come back. Consumers will be forced to spend on essential items and keep delaying their purchase of discretionary items, which is going to impact the economy in a more bigger way. If demand is going to go down, if demand is not going to be there, then there is no reason why corporates are going to line up investments in fresh projects. That's going to be the next impact. Corporates are already seeing that their capacity utilization stands at an average of about 63% of their installed capacity. And if demand doesn't come back, they are not going to have any kind of a resurge or surge in corporate investments coming back. In fact, forget an increase in investments in new projects. To us, they would be downsizing, closures and bankruptcies even in the existing projects taking place in case we see an intense surge of corona coming back. Further, any kind of a durable and rapid recovery and revival in the economy is going to be delayed for sure. If the earlier predictions were that some kind of a durable revival in the economy will come back from the September quarter, then in our estimate, it will get delayed by another at least 3 to 6 months. Some form of a recession or a contraction, whether in a mild form or a strong form, will also be felt during this period. With all this happening, government finances are going to suffer. The primary sources of finance for the government is the tax collection that it gets, whether direct or indirect. If growth is going to suffer, tax collection will suffer, and the state of government finances will continue to remain strained. That means fiscal deficit will remain high. That means that all the planned borrowing of the government will have to be done, and probably it may borrow even more. And that also means that the government will not have any means available to announce some kind of a fiscal stimulus in order to support the suffering sectors of the economy. The next effect of a COVID surge coming back is going to be on the health of banks and financial institutions. NPAs are already expected to go up sharply. And if there is another round of disruption of the economy because of COVID, then certainly the number of NPAs in the system would go up, and that would adversely impact the health of banks. Their balance sheets would only deteriorate further. We see a situation where downsizing, closures and bankruptcies would take place, and that means NPAs would go up. That raises a question that in case a very intense wave of corona comes back, which seems to be very likely, and the economy suffers in a big way all over again, then who's going to be responsible to support and stabilize the economy? Who's going to be responsible for its revival, for its recovery? Last year, it was the Reserve Bank of India which did all the heavy hitting and heavy lifting in this regard through its monetary policy initiatives. But then, in our opinion, the efficacy of the Reserve Bank's monetary policy initiatives in this regard have run out of steam. And it is the government of India which will have to take the primary responsibility to initiate fiscal measures to revive an economy, to revive a sagging economy. It's the government which will bear the primary responsibility here. The fact of the matter is that in case we have an intense resurge of corona, there is going to be an increasing wave of uncertainty also setting in. Confidence of the consumer and confidence of the producer will plummet, and it is the government which will need to restore it. That gets us to the larger picture. How would that be done? The fact is that the government is short of resources. It is not an exaggeration to say that the government's treasury is empty. In such a situation, the government would also hesitate to borrow beyond a point, because reckless borrowing will not do any good to the Indian economy. The question then comes is, how would the government restore confidence? How would the government get a sense of certainty in the economy? To us, the government will need to improve the ground realities. The ground reality in terms of ease of doing business, in terms of ease of earning, in terms of ease of living, and in terms of ease of compliance. And if that is done, it will trigger a cycle of investment, job creation, spending in the economy all over again. We understand that the government is going to be unable to provide financial support in order to give immediate respite to all those who are afflicted in the economy because of corona coming back. But what it can do is to initiate all these measures to make it easy to do business in the country, to make it easy to earn money in the country. And if that is done, confidence in the economy will be restored, confidence in the economic processes will be restored, and that will put the Indian economy on a path of stable, durable growth, at least in the medium term onwards. And that, we think, is where the solution lies. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.